All right, guys, this one's going to be a little bit longer, but we're just going to try and get through as much of the questions that may pop up as we can. We're going to flow through, so there might be a long video, but we're going to flow through the RX division first, then the intermediate, then the scaled and masters. So watch as much of this video as you think you need to. So all divisions are going to be starting back here for the synchronized box jump overs. So the synchronicity has to happen at the top of the box. If you get there early, you can wait for your partner. You can step down, jump down, one person can step down, one person can jump down, whatever you think you need. So we're going to do a couple of reps here. 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2. One more. Now this is perfectly planned, so our 9th rep, unless you get a no rep, is going to take us through to the front of the box here, and then we're going to make our way down for our synchronized toes to bar. That's all right, we'll figure it out. I'm going to put that there quickly. And we're just going to do a couple here. 3, 2, 1, up. Oh, yeah. And go. One more. We're looking for synchronicity at the top, all 4 feet touching that bar at the top in time. Beautiful. So make sure you get your synchronized down, practice that. No reps are going to be if there's a huge discrepancy between one foot hitting and then the next foot hitting. If it's dink dink and you start to square that up, you will get a little bit of a leeway there. But if it's very egregious, you're going to get no rep instantly. So make sure you have practiced that synchronization throughout the week. Now, once we're done with those, one person can move on to the handstand push-ups. We're going to have one mat for the handstand push-ups. That one mat is the only place that you can do those handstand push-ups. So the transitions in and out, one person's going to come down and the next person can go up. We cannot be there waiting. So person 1 doing as many reps as they need to in that first round, and then they're going to drop and change. And then person number 2 kicks up into the same spot and gets through as many reps as they can. What we're looking for, or what our judges have been briefed that they're going to be looking for, I think that's still recording, I just hit a button. What the judge is going to be looking for is full extension at the top. The most dangerous rep that we're going to miss or fall short on is going to be that last repetition where I rush off the wall. Finish the rep, guarantee it, then get your transition to avoid any danger of being no rep there. Head through, front of hands, schnoz in front of arms to make sure that we get that extension, cool? High quality movement will not get no reps, so perfect practice makes progress. Make sure we are moving well in training. Now, once we finish those, the next movement in this list is going to be our double unders. Dun, dun, dun. Drag rope for your ass. So RX, you guys are going to be using the drag rope. We have smalls, mediums, and larges. Each team will have one rope. Unless there's a huge discrepancy in height, we do have a couple of extra ropes, which is cool. Sam's using a large right now, and she's going to go into her drag rope double unders. So in that first round, it is as many reps as you can, and then we have those targets for those next ones. Now, one person is going to be using this rope at a time. The rope must go down, and then I can step into that rope there. In the intermediate division, we'll cross that bridge a little bit later, but if you guys use separate ropes, one person using a rope at a time. So I can't stand there with my rope in the hands, it must be on the floor. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. Now, once you finish your skips in that final round, then we're on to the handstand walks. So with the handstand walks in the RX division, we're going 6 meter increments with that halfway mark at 3 meters, or it has to be 6 unbroken. Yeah, 6 meters unbroken. Cool. So hands must start behind the line, and we're going to make our way down. Sam's going to go comfortably. She's flying all the way down for the 6 meters. Beautiful. Now, as tedious or as kind of finicky as it may feel, I can see this line. I can feel my hands. There is no reason why your hands should touch this line to start your rep. If it does, you'll be sent back, okay? Same thing when crossing the line. If we're looking at the line here, I have to get across that line with control for that rep to count. So I'm not going to have any of these bunny rabbit jumps to finish where I'm diving for that line to cross it. I'm going to establish control at the back end of that. If Sam's really good at the handstand walk, she might finish her handstand and then come around, even fang a little pirouette in there for the crowd, and then work her way back down and then change for myself. Cool. So hopefully that makes sense for the RX division. I think we have covered everything there. Again, really nice transition-based workout here. It's going to be exciting to see some people put up some big numbers on these handstand walks and maybe go a couple of 4 laps unbroken. Moving on to the intermediate division. Is that still going? Cool. Moving on to the intermediate division, we starting the same way. So starting with the 9 box jump overs, moving then onto those toes to bar with the slightly decreased amount of reps. The handstand push-ups. This is the only little squirrely bit for this intermediate division here. Those first handstand push-ups that you're going to be initially doing, that max set, is going to be with no ab mat. So from the floor, just like the RX guys. You can kip, you can go strict, whatever's faster for you guys. Then, after you finish that first round, just remember to grab your ab mat, and we're going to go put that down. Personal preference for the way you face it. Set it up a little bit, do a practice rep in that 1 minute rest so you get to transition back, and that is absolutely fine. Remember, on that transition back, we're always going to start each round from behind our box. And the double unders, now we have your own rope. We have ropes here as well. If you don't have one, you can have a rope each. Just be aware that it may clutter your lane a little bit more. When we do the transition, rope goes down, and then I can either start with my own rope as long as I am within my own lane, or we can share a rope there. Cool. Once we get to the handstand walks, you guys are allowed 3 meter increments. That is absolutely not to say that you can't go for a 6. You are going to be credited with 1 rep for every meter that you complete. On the other side of that, we're going to be going for wall walks. Our wall walk standard, we're going to have the floor taped with a front line, with probably a universal front line for the ladies and gents, to be honest. We're going to go front line. Feet must come up onto the wall before the hands start to move. Then we're going to walk our hands back to our line at the wall, and then we're going to reset the hands back to that front line before the feet may drop to the floor. Okay? Now, as we come down the handstands, if I'm looking for a 3 meters and I fail at 2 meters, these 2 meters do not count, but I can tag into my friend who's going to be doing the wall walks. There is nothing to suggest that I start doing handstand walks as they start to fatigue, or if I find I've got more accumulated fatigue from the workout, I can therefore go back and do wall walks as well. If we're doing wall walks side by side, which we absolutely can do because we're going to have the space, I have to remain on the floor here until Sam has returned back to chest to ground position. Then I have the green light to go. Okay, we're not going to preemptively guess when she's going to hit the floor. I'm going to even wait for my judges go there. Cool. Now on for the scaled version of the box jumps, we have box step overs. Same thing. Box will be a little bit lower, and our step overs are going to be here. One more. Cool. We're going to run down. Always facing out to the crowd for any gymnastics that we're going to be doing. Hanging knee raise. Go. 1, 2, down. For this hanging knee raise, we are looking for those knees to get on top of or higher than the hip. If I'm standing in a pool of water, water is at hip height, my knees must breach that water. Then going into the skips, you guys are going to be using the drag rope for single unders. So that'll be fun, a little bit of a point of difference. So if you've got a heavier rope or a drag rope at the gym, get to practicing with that. So single unders here. Again, we've got smalls, medium and larges. And as you can see, they're a little bit more challenging than what we're used to. So something fun to chuck into that workout. Now for our scaled wall walks, we're going to come down here quickly. This is our setup for our lines. These lines haven't been measured, but it's just going to be a quick visual representation. Notice Sam's hands are going to start on the line, on the tape. She's going to go still, chest up, butt up, feet to wall, both feet established wall position. Now the hands must clear this 1 meter tape line that we have. Once the hands are cleared there, we have to get back hands touching that front line and then return that chest to floor to complete a rep. Beautiful. That's going to be the ladies. The gents are going to start with their hands in front of that line and go up into our wall walk, clear that line 1 meter, and then get the hands back in front of the line before dropping to the floor. Cool. What the judges are going to be looking for is just execution of the movements. I kind of touched on all of the things there. There is a longer video. I hope this clears up any space that we need to do a full brief together. So spend time watching that, bounce any questions off us that you need to, but I hope that helps. Cool. Talk to you soon.